Alright, what is up everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Benny back at it again. Today I'm going to show you how to make your own custom made Tsurikawa at home right now, right there where you're at. Well, maybe like it might take a couple days because you got to order everything and I'll get everything prepared and get ready to go. So anyways, let's get started. Alright, first and foremost, you're going to want to get like a Tupperware. And then at the bottom side, you're going to want to cut it out. So don't cut out the top where you put the lid. Cut the bottom part. The smaller, the better. Because it takes up less of material. And it helps you out so you can make more with the material that you got. So yeah, get the Tupperware, cut the bottom off. After that, you want to get some 3M tape. 3mm tape or 3M tape. They sell it basically anywhere. And then with that tape, you want to tape the top part of the Tupperware. So now the part that you cover with the lid, you're gonna want to tape that. Flip it over with the cut side like that. Get your Tsurikawa. Get your Tsurikawa of choice. We are doing this one. There's gonna be a new one that we are making. It's a star. So you're gonna want to go ahead. Grab your Tsurikawa of choice. Go ahead, place it into the. Make sure it fits and it's good and it's cause this one like barely clears it, but it's enough that it'll work. Yes, go ahead and place it in there. Usually heart ones, broken heart ones, or other ones, they usually fit pretty perfect, good in there. Oh, I also forgot to mention the tape. The sticky side has to be up. Of course, obviously. I mean, so then the Tsurikawa's in there and doesn't move out of place. Because if you put a Tsurikawa in there without any tape, it kind of floats up, or it does float up, and then your mold's gets all wonky. So yes, get some tape. Tape it all around, like so, from this side to this side, this side to this side. Just tape it. Make sure nothing gets out. Usually, we used to put hot glue around the edge, but we don't need to do that anymore. At least, just make sure your tape is on there secure so nothing leaks. But yeah, then you want to get your material. So this is what we're working with right here. Silicone mold making kit. This from Amazon. Links will be down below if you want to get yours to do this. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. We're making 2 molds, so usually it will take up the whole bottle. If not, I mean, if you're only making 1, I'm assuming probably 1 will just be enough. But make as you wish or do or whatever. So this is the thing we use. This is the stir stick we use to stir the stuff with. But this is the container we use to pour everything in there with. It has all the ratios and all that stuff. But yes, it's a 1-to-1 ratio for this. Alright, you guys. So since we are working with very harsh chemicals and very just chemicals that are really strong for your smell, for your skin, for your eyes, for anything that's around you, anything. Make sure you have your PPE, not your PP, your PPE, personal protective equipment. So I got mine right here. So this is my personal protective equipment. This is what I use. Just kidding. Just kidding. That is not what I use. I mean, yes and no. Okay, I don't use the rubber gloves, but I do use gloves. I do use the face mask, but I'd also use this face mask right here. But that is, I'm not looking like I'm over here making some weird ass, you know what I'm saying, in the bag. So anyways, let's continue on. Alright guys, so you want to go ahead and crack your bottle open. And then just go ahead and pour the necessary amount that you're going to use. We're using the whole thing. So like I said, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So we're literally pouring this whole bottle, and then we'll be pouring the rest of that whole bottle. Alright, so once you get both of them poured in, you're going to want to go ahead and stir this for 3 to 5 minutes. I've been stirring about for like 4 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and pour them in here now. Oh, and a side note, you also could let this sit and let all the air bubbles come up. As you can see, it has all those air bubbles. You could just let it sit and let those arise to the top, and then pour it slowly, or you can just go ahead and pour it into there and let the air bubbles arise from there. Camera's not focusing, but usually that's what I do, is I kind of let it sit for a while, pour it in there, and then usually that sits and I hit it around, smack it a bit, let the air bubbles come up. Alright, once you get these poured and squared away, you also want to make sure that it is not spilling out the sides. So far, so good. Just keep track of it, check on it every now and then. Like every, I don't know, 3 to 5 minutes, check on it. Eventually, around 30 minutes, it starts to solidify up. Not all the way, so don't take it out. Solidify up, just enough for it not to pour out of anywhere. And if it is pouring out, go ahead and try to either put some pressure on your mold, have some pressure on it so it stops leaking, add more tape. You can also add hot glue if it's leaking out the side. We used to put hot glue on the side, the edges, but we stopped doing that. So yeah, you can go ahead and do that. Right now they're looking pretty good. Looks like they're not leaking, so we're gonna go ahead and move these to the side. All right, once that is done, you're gonna be coming out something looking like this. That is a final product, a mold right here. This is a heart-shaped one. We added this thing in the middle so it can take up less material, but I mean, it's still pretty thick. I think this one came out thick because we did something like this where we just do 2 molds. Usually we were able to do 3 molds with 1, but I think you're pushing it with 3, but it's not too bad. I think I have like one where we did 3. I think this might have been the 3 actually, and this one was the 2. Look, that one's thick. As you can see, it's like kind of a waste of material, but I guess, I don't know. But yes, so now I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and pour this one up, and then yeah, we'll see what colors we do right now. All right, for this next part, you're gonna need a couple more items if you want to customize it to the max, I guess you can say. So you get resin dye. We're gonna try to do like a cool little marble effect right now. We're gonna add ultra sparkle glitter. You're gonna need cups, plastic cups, and then the number one thing is you're gonna need a scale. A scale that weighs in ounces. That's what we do. Ounces. Let me move some of this stuff. Sorry, because we're clean. We were reorganizing the room, the office, I guess you can say. So let me just. All right. So you can see this thing. There you go. Like. All right. So once you got your mold and everything and all of it ready to go, you're going to want to pour up your epoxy resin. We got all these right here. Some of these are full, some of these are empty, but there is always a A side and then a B side. Your A side's your resin, your B side's your hardener. They're dusty because once we get that going, we start sanding everything down, and then this stuff gets like, the bottle gets sticky. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and pour that up. So what you want to do is you want to get your cup, place it. You want to make sure it's zeroed out actually. I think we're kilograms. Okay, so it's pounds and ounces. So put that right there. I think you zeroed out right here. I kind of forgot. Alright, zeroed out. Then you want to get your resin. So just to show you guys, I added 1.1 ounces of resin. So now I gotta add 1.1 of hardener, so I should be with 2.2. Let me add the hardener. Alright, there you go, 2.2. And then you want to grab like a mixing stick or something. We just use these wooden mixing sticks. And then you just want to mix it around for another 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, so this is where the complicated part gets. Resin gets a lot of air bubbles. So let me focus it real quick. Oh, damn it. Alright, well, there you go. Do you see all those air bubbles? So, once you start mixing it, depending how fast you go and how slow you go, determines how many air bubbles you're going to have. So, if I start to mix really, really fast, I'm going to get a lot of air bubbles. If I mix slow and steady and a good consistent pace, I'm going to get low to medium air bubbles. And then that'll be easier to get them out once you got everything going. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix this up, and then I'm gonna show you a cool and easy way to try to get as many out as possible. Because if you don't, I think I do have a couple molds somewhere where I will show you as an example. If you don't get the air bubbles, they do get a lot of bubbles within the resin, and it doesn't look so great. Oh, and I also forgot to mention, you can either add your colors right now or mix it up first and then add your colors and then keep mixing. I usually just add them right now. Depending on how hard I want this to hit, that's how many I'll hit. So like if I want like a soft lighter color, it'll be the 3 to 5. If I want something darker, I'll go like 6 to 10. 10 is really gonna be strong. When you put it in here, it's like, okay, so when you have it in the cup, the color's gonna be way darker, but once you pour it, it's gonna lighten up. So you'll see right now. Alright guys, so you can see right here, I have a whole bunch of air bubbles. I stirred a little quicker than normal, how I usually stir, but I will be able to get all these out as I show you my techniques and ways to get them out. So I do let this sit for a little bit because I said, like I said before, air bubbles do rise up, so they will all rise up eventually. Not all of them, but most of them, so yeah. Alright, so now I'm gonna go ahead and add some of this sparkle stuff at the bottom, because that is usually the bottom of the mold is gonna be your show side of the mold, because it's gonna be the best looking part. I'm gonna pour some on my hand. Oh, damn, that's a lot. Okay, and I'm just gonna like sprinkle it like if I'm sprinkling like salt or whatever, you know, like Salt Bay. I'm over here Salt Bay in it to disperse it around. Make sure it's dispersed evenly within the Tsurikawa. Look at that. You can see in there it's pretty dispersed evenly. Alright. So once that's good, and you let your resin sit. So I have this white that I'm adding, because I'm gonna add it in the bottom. Kinda like, because I kinda wanted a marble effect. So I'm not adding like crazy amounts. Okay, and then you want to add your primary. Hopefully it works out how I want it to. You also want to make sure you get in here where this little area is at. Alright, and then you just let it sit for about 24 hours overnight. Usually I let it sit by overnight, take it out the mold, put it in the sun, and then it should be done by the following night, or that same night actually. And then yeah, and then like I said, to get the air bubbles out, I usually got one of these little bad boys right here. Oops. So I just run it over like this. I see air bubbles. It takes most of them out. What's that right there? It takes a majority of them out. And then you let it sit, more air bubbles rise. you hit it again, and then it takes out the air bubbles that came up. Or you can also use a heat gun, take a heat gun to it from a good distance, just push it around. That brings up the air bubbles pretty quick as well. But I usually just do this. I sometimes use the heat gun, and that also helps with the process. And then yeah, also when the mold is done, you want to make sure, let me bring my other molds right now. Nacho just woke up. Oh jeez, or he's just moving spots, either or. But anyways, these are the new molds we made last night. We gotta take them out still. These ones are a little bit thinner, but it's just these ones are smaller. Look how thin that one is. We also got keychains coming up. That's gonna be dope. We had to remake this one, a soccer flower. That one's not too thin, it's good enough. But I'm gonna go ahead and, so what you do here is you want to get a razor blade, something sharp. Razor blade. This one's kind of rusty, but usually we have this little razor blade right here, and then we kind of just cut out around. So for instance, all right, so I'll just kind of cut in here, down, and then down. All right, so once you got that cut out, you just kind of want to push it out. I'm doing one hand right now, so it's kind of a little more harder. That's what she said. There you go. And there's your mold right there, ready to be used. Some people add some stuff to it just to make the life last longer. Some people trim out the edges. I do and don't, but I'm going to on this one because it looks a little rough. But yes, it's ready to be used. Have fun. And then once that is done drying up, you get something like this. This is one that I made. This is another one that I made. So then you want to add your strap. The strap, okay. For the strap, you have various options and fabrics to use that of your choice that you want. We recently started using duck canvas. It's a thicker type of material, especially when you fold it in half, and from three you fold it in half or whatever. Like, I had to explain it right now. But we also have this other fabric. Now the problem with this is maybe when we were doing it, we weren't doing it right, but at the time it was a little thinner and harder to use. But we might be able to use it now with the technique that we use. But yes, the fabric is totally up to you, whatever fabric you want to use. Like I said, we use duck canvas, we sew it up, and this is how it's done. Alright, so excuse the mess. Like I said, I've been cleaning up the back area, but this is, I think, about 3 inches, if I'm correct, if I'm not mistaken. So it's 3 inches in total. And then what we do is we fold it in half. So we fold it in half, and then we sew up the edge. So all the way from the top all the way down to the bottom. The top over here, we leave one side open because you still got to pull it inside out. To pull it inside out, we use this tube thingy. So you put this, so once it's sewn up, everything will be shut except for one side. You should have one side open. You'll put this through there, this purple through there, this purple thing through in there, all the way to the bottom of the thing. And then with the closed side, you will push this stick into there, into the tube, and it should pull it inside out. Once it's inside out, you'll close up the edge by sewing it up however you please. What I usually do is I just fold it like that, sew it up, cut up the excess edge, and then it gives a cleaner look. And once you got that, you add your buttons. I did bring a strap. I don't know where it's, oh, here it is. So this is a finished strap right here, as you said. I said, like, see, I folded it up, and so here it is, all sewn up on the edge. This is 1 inch thick. We add the buttons. Here we go, this button right here. You can get a button maker. Links will be down below where we get ours. And in that button maker, it will show you how to button something up. You usually gotta hammer some stuff, but if not, look up a YouTube video. And then you just add this to your Tsurikawa. Add it real quick. We usually have the button on the inside so it doesn't show. And voila, there's your custom made, handmade Tsurikawa from top to bottom. There's a whole bunch of ways and things you can do. Colors, half and half, mix in there, dyes. There's just a whole bunch. Solid colors. There's a light pink. We had some solid. This is our box full of mistakes. So as you can see, the bottom is where we, like, the ones we started. The top is more where we're recently now, but they just sometimes fuck up. Here's a mold that just took a shit. There's a soccer flower one, so we had to replace it. Let me go to the bottom to show you guys. Maybe we have something in here where you guys like, oh damn, you know, they didn't. Oh look, here's this heart one. Forgot what we tried doing with this, but it looks all ugly. Another heart one. Sometimes these don't solidify all the way, which is a problem. It's been a problem for us. Look at this. This just, they come out pretty nice, but than that, I think I've explained everything possibly. If you don't know how to sew, there is also various different options that you can do. You can do double-sided tape them together. You can use one sole strap. That's a little more, you can't, it's possible, but it's like harder in a sense because you need something that's gonna stick well together. If the strap is so thin, the button will have no like help. It'll have nothing to like really grab onto, and eventually from pulling it off and on so much, it'll just rip off the fabric and it's gonna be bad. But there's a lot of things you can use. We used to not glue them together. We used to not glue them, but double-sided tape them. They didn't come out too bad. Where we just put two sides together. I knew how to sew, so I was like, you know what, let's just start sewing them up. Started sewing them up. They came out great. But other than that, you guys, I don't know what more. If you have any questions or concerns or anything, leave a comment down below. More than happy to help you out as much as I can. Also, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Check out our social medias. If you want to buy something from the shop, go ahead and like one of our models, one of our Tsurikawas to use as a model for a mold, go ahead, you can order that on our website. We also do custom ones. If you guys want a custom one, hit us up on our DMs. We only have limited space to do them though, so space is limited, like I said. Other than that, yeah, just check out the shop. And yeah, thank y'all for watching. Peace out. See you in the next one.
Granted, she was standing right now while I keep the play on the brick. I made them little niggas go hate when I tell them man in this bitch. I done been down bad and them shits had to ride with that stick.